Hey everybody, this is Sheshayi88 here, coming at you with my Nova Grappler Deck profile. Yes, this is English. It is not, I'm not one of those retards who just buy the Japanese version, because I actually want to know what my cards do. So, first off, we have 4 Shining Lady. This card will be one of your grade zeros for sure, and it is a critical trigger. If you guys are wondering why this is a different case than these, it's because I want to start out with this and I don't want to have to search for it before I play, because I'm lazy like that. Yep. Next we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Battlereizers. I do not start with Battleraizer, even though it has a pretty neat effect when you use it, when you boost with it. Then it goes back to your deck, and if you ride it, it goes straight to your rear guard. I don't use this, and I use Shining Lady instead because I actually want to keep cards in my soul, as you'll see later. Next, for the other grade zeros, triggers, whatever, I have obviously 4 ring girls. Clara, I'm running 4 because obviously they're heal triggers. They're the only heal triggers that we have right now. So then I run 1, 2, 3, 4 Lucky Girls. Stand trigger, obvious. So that is it for the grade zeros that are Nova Grapplers. I actually run 2 Dark Irregulars, 2 Rock the Walls. A bunch of you are gonna ask me why, really? Why would you do that? But actually it's pretty neat. It actually works really well, because if you see here, after this card gets put in the drop zone from the Guardian Circle, put this card into your soul, and it has a pretty big shield. So I'll explain more about that later. For the grade 1s, I have 1, 2, 3 Queen of Hearts. Kind of meh. It's not really good. 1, 2, 3, 4 Tough Boys. I prefer this over the Queen of Hearts because 1, it has a somewhat decent attack, even though it doesn't have an ability. It's a lot better than Queen of Heart. Queen of Heart can boost this guy right here, but that never happens. Because that's like 8 cards, never happens, and doesn't really work. And 1, 2, 3, 4 Shout. Shout's a great card to start off with because use him, rest him, take a card from your hand that you probably won't need, aka like another grade 3, and then you just go through your deck faster. It helps, but otherwise don't use him. 1, 2, 3, 4 Clay Doll Mechanic. Clay Doll Mechanic is really, really helpful. 1, because you are, well, I'll explain later. For your grade 2s, you have 1, 2 King of Heart. No, you do not run more. You know what? In fact, I wouldn't even run King of Sword or Queen of Heart. This person right here, I wouldn't run either actually. It's just that I don't really have any options because the start of the booster box came out with, I think, only 13 Nova Grapplers, so I don't really have much of a choice. So I can tech in like Rock the Wall, etc., but I wouldn't recommend it. If you when the next set comes out and when the trial deck for Nova Grapplers come out, I'm definitely gonna change it. So then we have one of the MVPs of the deck, arguably one of the best actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 Brutal Jacks, aka Genocide Jack, if you watch the Japanese version. But anyway, this card is good. Like, even though it has restraint means like it can't attack obviously, but so you counterblast 1, it loses restraint. Its attack is pretty damn good. That's comparable to, or higher than most grade 3s actually. And so even though a lot of you are gonna be like, wait, this card really sucks, I don't want to counterblast, and you can only have like 5 before you like die, or before say 5 and then 6 before you die. So technically 5. But this is really good because if you look back here to Clay Doll Mechanic, this card, yes. When this card is placed on a rearguard circle, if you have a Nova Grappler Vanguard, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. Okay. Second one, Hungry Dumpty. Same thing basically. If you have a Nova Grappler Vanguard, blah blah blah, same thing. So this card is actually extremely viable, and I prefer it over anything. Next to the grade 3s. Run 3 Asura Kaisers. I only run 3 because 4 I think is too much. It clogs up the hand. And like, you don't really have an outlet. You don't have a flash shield or a Bari for Kageros. You don't really have that for Nova Grappler. So you run 3. If you run 4, then well, Cardfight, the website, they recommend you have 8 grade 3s to balance your deck. You don't want 8. 8's just way too many. 8's overkill. You don't have an outlet for them in this deck. And its effect is kind of meh, so I'll probably take it out. And my favorite card, personally, other than Genocide Jack, Real Jack, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mr.Invincibles. Okay, so remember all the cards and how I keep mentioning the soul, how I want cards in the soul, how this card goes to the soul. Well, okay, this card is pretty boss, because I don't know, you can't really read it because this camera sucks, but so at the beginning of your turn, you soul charge 1. Choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So what this means is that you take a card from your deck, put in the soul, obvious, but it also allows you to use Brutal Jack again, because and so it loses restraint. So yeah, cool. And then the other part, okay. This is in your Vanguard or Rearguard circle. You Soul Blast 8 and you Counter Blast 5. So thus you definitely need the soul. So that's why you have Rock the Wall. That's why you keep Shining Lady in your soul and you don't use Battleraizer. And then when this card attack hits, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand all your units again. So though this doesn't happen often, because usually you kill them by this time, or your opponents kill you, which really doesn't happen if you play smart. But if you know the game, you won't die. But when this happens though, it's basically an auto win for you, because then, assuming you have a full field and you're not against like Kageros who will totally destroy all your rear guards. And if you do, you should have a hand advantage. But if this happens, you basically won. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So comment, rate, subscribe, or whatever everybody else says. I don't really care. But I hope this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, just PM me. Peace.